Hello everyone, we are from BA Honors Political Science third year.
We are going to talk about one of the finest philosophers that the 20th century had produced, John Rawls, and his theory of justice.
I will give a brief introduction about John Rawls. John Rawls, 1921-2002, was an American political philosopher best known for his work in moral and political philosophy, particularly his theory of justice. His most influential book, A Theory of Justice, in 1971, introduced the concept of justice as fairness, advocating for a society where institutions are structured to ensure fairness and equality. Rawls proposed the fairness and equality and the original position and veil of ignorance as thought experiments to determine just principles emphasizing equal basic rights, fair equality and opportunity, and the different principle which allows the inequalities only if they benefit the least advantage.
John Rawls, he had discussed his social contract theory in the name of original position. Here we can discuss three concepts: what is the original position, and why it is important, and how it is different from the other social contract theory that has been done in the 15th and 16th centuries. First, let us know what is the original position. Original position described by the John Rawls is the hypothetical situation to build the society in a just manner. Here, the individuals of the Rawls who are individualistic but not egoistic or selfish, they decide the certain features or certain norms for the society while unknowing their position, like where they stand in the society, what status they are getting, and what sex they are having, etc. John Rawls thinks that if the people are given responsibility to build the society from the scratch, they will build a society that is beneficial not for one community or the one people, but equally beneficial for everyone. John Rawls also thinks that people in an original position, being at a hypothetical scenario, they will build certain principles that not only benefit one community over another, but equally beneficial and most importantly beneficial for the least advantage in the society. It is equally important for us to understand how the social contract theory of the John Rawls is different from the social contract theory that has been discussed earlier. Here the people are given the opportunity to create the society by themselves instead of signing any contract that has been signed by the Hobbes, that has been signed by the Rousseau, that has been signed by the John Locke. Here the people themselves will decide the features of the society so that the society is equally beneficial for everyone, and most importantly it is beneficial for the least advantage in the society.
Now I am talking about veil of ignorance, eliminating base for true justice. To ensure true fairness in the original position, Rawls introduced the veil of ignorance, a mental exercise where individually designed society must ignore all personal information about themselves, their social class or economic status, their race, gender or nationality, their intelligence, talent or ability. Why is the veil of ignorance important? The veil of ignorance forces individually to make decisions without veils. They are motivated to create rules. Why is the veil of ignorance important? The veil of ignorance forces individually to make decisions without veils. They are motivated to create rules that are just for all, ensuring that even the least advantages are treated fairly. Example of how it works in society. Imagine if a group of people had to design a healthcare system without knowing whether they would be rich or poor, sick or healthy. Under the veil of ignorance, they would choose a system that provide healthcare access to everyone, since they might end up in a disadvantageous position themselves.
Imagine a society where fairness is the foundation of justice. What would it look like? John Rawls said that justice has the two key principles where it ensures that equality and freedom for everyone. So the first principle is that equal basic liberties. In a society, everyone should have the equal basic liberties like fundamental of rights, fundamental of religions, right to vote, and legal and aid prevention. So we can say that no one person can gain more political power because he is famous or because he is rich. So the second principle given by John Rawls is based on the economic and social fairness. It has two parts. The first part is on fair equal opportunity, and the second part is of difference principle. So in the first principle, Fair equal opportunity means every person, no matter of their background, should have the equal opportunities at the chance of success. Like a person race, gender, or their family wealth will not determine their opportunity at their life. The second subtopic in the second principle is that of difference principle. So we have seen that we have given the equal fair opportunity. Now we can think that despite of giving the equal opportunity, we can see there are the inequalities. Like John Rawls says that these inequalities are justified because they can give the benefit to the least advantageous class. So let me take an example. Like there are the chance of studying. Like there is a chance of studying. Two persons are studying, but one like got a position of doctor and second would not get a good position. So this inequalities is justified because they both get the equal opportunity of getting the studies. Despite of that, the person who is in the good position and the second person who is not in the good position because of their talent. So in this whole phenomenon difference principle, the talents and efforts make the critical aspects to get the inequalities that is justified by the John Rawls.
So now I will talk about critics of theory of justice. So first one is Robert Nozick. So Robert Nozick, in his book Anarchy, State and Utopia, that got published in 1971, he basically criticized the John Rawls theory of justice. So in John Rawls has given the principle called different principle, in which he says that government should tax the rich people and they should use that tax for the general welfare of the public. But he says that taxation will be the forced labor. He equates that taxation to the forced labor, or he called it as a coercive taxation. He says that we can't tax anybody against their will, even if we use that tax for the compensation of someone who had need of this, like the people who are disabled. But we can't use that tax for them also. And third one is that he says that the government should only collect tax for the creation of police and judicial system and to protect that judicial system. And the second one is the communitarian critic. So in communitarian critic, they basically says that John Rawls has given the original position. So they says that it was too individualistic and they have ignored the community and the sense of belongingness that is very much important to them. So this is that distributive principle can only be made when the individual will be in the community, not outside the community. But John Rawls has separated the community, had separated the individual from the community. According to them, that is very wrong. And the third one is the feminist critic. So feminist critic Suzanne Moller Hawken, in her book Justice, Gender and Family, she points out that most of the justice theory, they have ignored the private sphere that is important. So John Rawls' theory of justice had done the same. They have ignored the private sphere that is very much important. She says that private sphere have direct bearing on the public life, but they have underestimated that private sphere. As we know that there are laws regarding marriage, regarding divorce, inheritance, that have direct bearing on the public sphere. And in his original position, he also ignored the women's and men's perception of seeing things and the needs that are very different from each other. So in summarization, these are the three critics of the John Rawls theory of justice.
So the conclusion part is the legacy and impact of Rawls theory, influence on political thought. Rawls theory of justice had profound impact on political philosophy, law and public policy. His idea has to discuss on democracy and human right, social justice and economic equality, government policy on wealth redistribution. Criticism of Rawls theory. While widely respected, Rawls theory has also faced criticism. First is the veil of ignorance to abstract. Critics argue that Rawls theory, the real world discussion, are not made in a hypothetical situation.
So now I am going to talk about its Rawls view to Western centric. Some critics believe Rawls focuses on individual rights, aligns with Western liberalism, but may not fit societies that prioritize collective well-being over personal freedom. Relevance today, why does Rawls matter? Despite criticism, Rawls' ideas remains highly relevant in discussions on justice and fairness. His principles influence modern debates on wealth, inequality, and taxation. The well of ignorance is used in ethical decision making and policy discussions. His work continues to inspire political movements advocating for human rights and equal opportunities. Final thoughts. Why should we care about Rawls' theory? Rawls' theory challenges us to think beyond self-interest and historical privilege. His theory of justice is not just an academic exercise, it is a practical guide for building a fair society. By using the well of ignorance and the difference principle, we can design laws and policies that protect the weakest members of the society, ensuring true fairness and justice for all. Thank you.